Hi everyone, I'm Ryan, welcome back to my garage. It's Saturday afternoon, I've only got about an hour now, and my aim is to get undercoat onto the tank so that it can cure overnight and I can try and get some paint on it, top coat, tomorrow. So with that, I'm going to crack on. So this is where we finished off last week. The tank has got black underneath and I think that looks okay, but the top is still very much bare metal. The side panels, plain black underneath, but still no top coat at all on the outside. So I'm going to try and get that primed up so that I can then work on removing this dent here and try and get it so I can get some top coat on tomorrow. Let's get started. Okay, firstly, nice chunk of wood, and that should sit on there. That keeps it all nicely off the ground so I can get all around the edges. Excellent. Might move that there somewhere. The other thing I'm going to need is something to block that cap. So that's just a bottle from some deck cleaner, but I'll borrow that, and that seems, with a bit of masking tape, fits in there nicely. Good. Right, got some overalls on. First thing I'm going to do is just give it a good wipe over, try and get any dust particles off. See, that's clean. And then after I've done all this, I'll then use some paint prep wipes to try and remove any remaining grease or fingerprints. Just try and get it as clean as I can. See, even when you think it's clean, it's not. I've now used up the last of my paint prep wipes, and let's start laying down some primer. Okay, so I've masked up the front because I don't want the primer to go back through to the black underneath. I've masked off the pin and I've masked off the screw heads because I want to leave them in. I don't want the threads filled, but I don't want the screw heads filled either. So that top's in place with just that gap at the front sealed up. So I think she's ready for some primer. Okay, let's go for an etch primer and start laying it down. Okay, I think that'll do for the first coat. Okay, so now I'm just going to let that set up, and I'm not unhappy with that. I was actually expecting that I needed like a high build primer or something, but that is the very first, well, it's now 2 coats, but 2 coats of primer straight onto bare metal, and yeah, no, I'm not unhappy with that so far. So what I'm going to do tomorrow then is concentrate on this dent here, which is Yeah, there's a dent there, you can now see that, so I need to get that out. So I'm going to put some filler on, or try and tap that out, but put some filler on that tomorrow. And see if we can move towards like a guide coat tomorrow or something. So let's leave that overnight now. Morning! Right, it's Sunday morning, I've got some time today. This has been curing overnight. I've got to try and resolve this dent today. I've got filler if necessary, but I'm going to see if I can get access to it from the inside of the tank. And hopefully by the end of the day we'll have some colour on this. So let's get on. Okay, well, whilst you'd think that getting something through this hole down to the inside of this dent wouldn't be difficult, apparently there's just no direct access. So there's a deep metal lip there, and then the high ridge in the middle, which just means there's no way I can get anything. It would have to be like curved and strong and flat, and I haven't got anything like that. So I think we're just going to have to go back to just a little bit of filler on that, which isn't necessarily too much of an issue, but just wasn't my preference. But let's get on. What I'm doing with this. I guess whilst I don't want a lot to sand off, I also need plenty on there. So yep, suitably messy, but deep enough. Right, let's leave that alone. Okay, let's prepare these side panels. Pre-paint. Cloths designed to pick up dust, grease. Okay, let's try a first coat very lightly. Okay, that'll do for the first coat. Just a very light coating, and I've hung them up because that was a suggestion from a comment that I received, and never thought about it. So let's hang them up and see how we go. Let's give it some time to settle. Okay, time for the next coat. that'll do. Okay, coat number 3. Okay, this should now be dry. That's had a reasonable amount of time. Does it feel dry? I'm not sure. Possibly, yes, I think it's still tacky. Right, I'm going to put that in front of some heat, give it some more time. I don't want to start tearing that up. Right, okay. Should be dry, doesn't feel like it. We'll give that some time near the heater just to make sure it's proper dry before I sand it back. Right, go for another coat of this. That's beginning to look alright. Right, let's give that time to harden again. Okay, that's had about another 15 minutes in front of the warmth. That's nice and warm, so hopefully it's ready. And try a rougher grip to begin with. Okay, let's try 240, see how that goes. Okay, so that's that rub back, and I think that's likely to do the job. So let's give that a good clean up and reprime it. Okay, so these panels I think have got full coverage of the final colour. So now I'm going to just start giving them a bit of a clear lacquer. This one is just standard clear lacquer, nothing special. On the tank I'm going to be using a paint resistant one. So for this, So that's the finish straight out of the can, and it certainly doesn't look particularly shiny yet, but I'm not worried about that. I think it's reasonably good coverage. So I'm going to put probably some more lacquer on it yet, and then we'll just leave that to harden for a few days. Okay, I think I'm now at the stage I can just prepare for the top paint will begin to. So I've bought a couple of these contour sanding, prime for paint, an ultra fine and a microfine. That's microfine and that's ultra. So I guess it's the micro I use first. Finishing, rectification, ultra. Okay. Top coat preparation. Yeah. Okay, looks like I use the ultra. Just use that one and see what happens. Just feel it. Just changing the surface very slightly. Nice and gentle. Yeah, and just feel it smoothing off. Okay, just carry on with this then. Okay. Right, so let's get some panel wipe on this. Nice and smooth. Some colour. Okay, let's go for the very first light coat. Let's leave that. Okay, so that's the very first, very light layer of some top coat. And, so far, no surprises. I think the repair that was around here, so far not visible. It'll probably become visible later, but we'll see. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Let's go for another light coat. Okay, let's leave that again. Okay, layer number 3. That's about the end of this can. Oh, I've got another one. Okay. Fourth coat. Another coat. So, we are beginning to get a bit of a shine. Okay. Good. Excellent. I think it's getting somewhere. And that repair, so far, I can't see it at all, so I'm happy with that. Okay, I've just emptied the last of the paint, the base coat that is, onto the tank, so still no lacquer yet, and yeah, so that's just paint, and so far so good. So let's let that lay off, and then we'll try some lacquer. Okay, whilst the top coat is drying off, I'm going to give it about 20 minutes before I, another 20 minutes, which is probably about 40 minutes before I apply a lacquer. First thing is I've gone for a clear lacquer, which says it gives protection from oil and paint, petrol. So I'm hoping that that will be appropriate on a petrol tank, because I don't want any spillage to just remove this paint. Now, I've been watching Knacker's Yard, fantastic channel if you've not watched it, and he was painting his tank, much better than me by the way, and now he applied his decals under the lacquer, so he applied them now, then sprayed over the top. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it because, firstly, I'm really going to do what Honda did from new. So they didn't, when I removed the decals, they were definitely just applied on the top, so I'm going to put them over the lacquer. Also, the way in which the effort you had to put in to get everything smooth after you put the decals on. I haven't got 2-pack lacquer. I don't have that much. Maybe I'm taking a shortcut. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm going to go lacquer first, decals second. So once it's dry, I'll carry on. Okay, first coat of lacquer. Okay, just let that. Hello. Okay. Progress. Making slow progress, but progress. Well, that is me just about done for today. But that is me recording myself in the reflection on the tank. So I am not unhappy with that at all. So, I'm going to leave it alone now. Just give it time to settle, and we'll see what it's like in the light. But so far, so good. Well, it's now the next morning, and I'm just having a look at this. I don't know whether this camera's picking this up. He's got these lovely little blue specks in it, and I was not expecting that. So I'm actually really quite pleased with that finish. Noisy tractor going by. So that is the painting side finished. I think next, following that, I need to rub this back and then start polishing it up. But that was a very first attempt at painting a tank I am happy with. I'm sure there's people out there who say it's not great at all, but I'm learning. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very much. That's all I've got time for this week. I've made a huge progress forward. I've got lots to learn, but really thank you for your help, your comments, your support. Please like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all again next week. Thank you. Bye for now.